Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello.
हे लिंक मी हे केली ना
नाही 2 मिनिटं चेक करत होतो.
कारण की काल ते सर्वेक्षण मी केली होती ना
Yes.
डायरेक्ट ती याचीच आहे ती जॉग्राफीची
आत्ताच्या प्रमाणे हे काय?
कारण की ही
आता तुम्ही ऑन करा. आता तुम्ही ती मी ठेवलेली ऑन करा. हं? बरं.
पण याच्यात ते हे जॉग्राफीचे कुठे आले कारण लोकांनी ती क्लिक केली ना त्यांना हे नाही येत
येणार.
ते लिंक मी केली ना
नाही 2 मिनिटं चेक करत होतो.
कारण की काल ते सर्वेक्षण मी केली होती ना डायरेक्ट ती याचीच आहे ती जॉग्राफीची
आत्ताच्या
You
Ata?
can take your own time. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, up to 12:30 or 1 o'clock, it will be okay, no problem. Okay. Bye.
Refresh करा.
रिसर्च प्रपोजलचं अगोदर घेते आणि हे ते म्हणतात तू तुझं तू ठरव
होय, होय.
त्याच्यावरती ते काय आपल्याला
Check करा.
घ्यायचं. आणि तिला ते दोन्ही लिंक पाठवायचे.
आवाज यायला
हा म्हणजे लाईव्ह झालंय. होय लाईव्ह झालंय ना तेच विचारायचं म्हणजे लाईव्ह चालू आहे.
आता चालू आहे.
आता बोलण्यात चालू.
मग याचं डिलीट करताय ना सर
ते का ते
त्याला
पॉज नका करू फक्त. हॅलो 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 हॅलो
बरोबर आहे. तुम्ही अनम्यूट केलं ना मग चालू होतं.
पॉज होत.
आता चालू झालं. हो
अनम्यूट केलं पॉज
पॉज
होतं.
पॉज.
नमित सर.
नाही, माझं म्हणणं काय माहितीये का, सिस्टीमचे साऊंड ऑफ करायचा आणि जे आता आपण स्क्रीन
Good morning, everyone.
Maushmi,
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Hello, Anita.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Maushmi.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, we are going to start just now. Okay.
Can you share the YouTube link with me, please?
Yes, yes, definitely. Sir is going to share you. Okay,
Yeah.
Saranke sir will share you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Salunkhe sir.
Good morning, all of you, and welcome in today's national webinar, which is on effective skills for research paper and research proposal. We are very proud to welcome all of the dignitaries, participants, research scholars, and PG students who have registered from all over India. It is our great honor also to welcome the participants from foreign countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Uzbekistan, and Myanmar also. Today is also birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda ji and also the birth anniversary of great Jizabai, who is the mother of great Maratha King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So we pray all our best regards to all these dignitaries. And I also like to welcome in today's national webinar. This day we celebrate as a National Youth Day also. It's a good sign on this Youth Day. More than 1,200 participants have been registered for national webinar. More than 28 states of India, and out of these 1,200 participants, more than 500 participants are from other states in India. So it's a great pleasure to welcome all of you. And also it shows the tremendous interest of all the academicians, researchers, and the faculties who are from different backgrounds. We wanted to organize this webinar before 2 months ago, but due to our examination schedule, it was postponed, and we were not expecting such a huge response. So we were created only 3 WhatsApp groups, but up to yesterday night, all the 3 groups were full. So because of that, we have prepared 2 more WhatsApp groups in the morning. So it's kind request to all the participants who have joined on Zoom link and also on YouTube also. If they have not registered any of our 5 WhatsApp groups, they can register on the WhatsApp groups 4th and 5th. For the feedback link will be shared on this group also, on YouTube also, and in Zoom chat box also. I would also want to request all the participants, feedback form is must for the getting e-certificate. Regarding these guidelines, we will also share some of our views in between the program. Once again, I would like to welcome all of you participants as well as our dignitaries for today's program. Our President, Honorable Hirabai Butalaji, he is not here because of his health, but his wishes are with us, and he has sent all the best wishes for today's webinar. At the same time, I will also like to request to our principal, Dr. Sarang sir, for his address for today's national webinar on effective skills for research paper and research proposal. Before that, I also like to welcome our today's resource person, Dr. Moushumi Datta, who has joined us. Welcome, Moushumi ma'am, once again to you. And
thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Then I would like to request Dr. Sarang sir to address our today's participants. And before that, once again, I would like to welcome him in our today's national webinar. Dr. Salunkhe sir, I request you to welcome him on the behalf of all geography and commerce departments, and also from entire our teaching fraternity who have joined today's webinar. Thank you, sir. Then I would like to welcome coordinator of IT BMS, Bhosle sir, for today's national webinar, because he is the technical person who is helping us from last so many days for preparation of these national webinars. I also like to welcome NSS program officer, Dr. Patole sir, on this occasion, because today is 2 big programs we are going to celebrate here. So thank you, Salunkhe sir. Yes, now I will request to Sarang sir to give his address on this occasion of national webinar on research papers and research proposals.
Good morning. Welcome in today's national webinar on effective skill for research paper and research proposal. Research has become important part of our education system. Research plays an important role in the social and economic development of the country. India has a great potential of brain power and has the 3rd largest system of higher education. When we talk about research paper or research proposal, In simple words, research means the creative work of which is under systematically to increase the knowledge of individuals, culture, and society. It covers gathering of any data, information, and fact for the development of knowledge. It helps to pursue your interest, learn something new, trying to test your problem solving skill, and come out with results that can contribute to enhance of knowledge. Additionally, research also helps to the faculty to enhance their teaching ability and upgrading knowledge. It empowers the faculty and increases the sense of curiosity among them. If we see the today's research paper, research is not taking place properly, but such webinar will highlight the weaknesses of research papers and research proposal. Also, it will be helpful to new researchers and research scholars for improving their quality of research. The academic sector contributes less than 14% of the total number of research in India. It's mainly because of the policy of government and the amount spent by the government is very less as compared to the other countries in world. In the end, I want to say that if we want India as a superpower in the world, research will only help India to move ahead in the global intellectual market, and so that such national webinars will play the important role. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you, sir, for your address. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Governing Council Chairman. He is also not present today due to his work. He has sent the video and we want to play his video. He has also given best wishes on this occasion. So our Honorable Governing Council Chairman, Advocate Anandrao Bhosleji, he will guide us on this occasion.
Dear participants, good morning and welcome. First, I would like to congratulate you for your deep interest in research work. Today we are doing our work from home due to COVID-19 and everyone is waiting for effective vaccine. It is to be said that research is going on to develop such a vaccine. It means research has become a matter of survival. We all are needed to be upgrading continuously to face such type of challenges in our life. Funding for research is always crucial issue, but you can avail it easily by proposing to the right agency, including UGC, ICSSR, as well as CSR, is one more also important source. I think today's webinar will help you to know the all sources and will also help you to focus on technical aspects in designing research proposal. As per provided data, there are more than 600 teachers and students have joined this webinar. Some of these are from remote states of the country. I hope you all will be continuing your research spirit and most of you will become successful, generate patents and copyrights for your institution and for your career development. Thanks once again for your response. Stay safe and follow the ethics while doing your research work. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhosle sir, for your very valuable guidance to all of us. Now I would like to request Dr. Amon Patil sir. He will read the message of our Honorable Secretary Mangesh Bhai Butala ji. Because of some unavoidable incidents, he has to go out of Khed. So I want to share his message. Patil sir, please, you can read his message.
Good morning, all of you. On behalf of the Honorable Mangesh Bhai Butala, Secretary Sahaj Jivan Shikshan Sanstha, Khed, it is a great opportunity me to interact with all participants from different corners of the country as well as abroad. I am thankful to Dr. Moushmi Datta, Vice Principal, NK College, Mumbai, who is available with us as a resource person. So welcome you, madam, on the platform of our institute on the occasion of national webinar.
Thank you.
So we all are aware of the importance of research as an academician, and assure you today presentation and valuable guidance will help all of us in our existing research as well as and future research. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to welcome once again all of you on the behalf of entire our Sahaj Jivan Shikshan Sanstha, ICS Arts Commerce College Science, Khed, Ratnagiri, on the occasion of today's national webinar. Just now, I want to welcome our today's resource person. She is also very much popular among the academicians as a research person, and she has more than 26 years of teaching experience. As said earlier, Dr. Moushmi Datta, she is working in Nagindas Khandwala College, Malad West, Mumbai, and she is MSc, SET-NET, as well as she has done double PhD in geography also, and she has pursued her PhD degree from MBA also, management also. Then she is working as a PhD guide in geography, University of Mumbai. Just now she is working as a professor and vice principal in Nagindas Khandwala College, Mumbai. She has technical skills, like as everybody we are familiar with remote sensing, GIS and GPS. She is working as an expert in these fields also. She has published more than 85 papers in ISN and ISBN. She has co-edited 8 books and authored 1 reference book for geography and 9 textbooks. She has completed her minor research project sponsored by UGC. Also, she has completed major research project sponsored by ICSSR. She has also worked with industry as a consultancy project and completed 1 project. University of Mumbai minor research project she has completed. At the same time, she has also working with Maharashtra State Commission for Women in 1 interdisciplinary project. And just now she has been sanctioned 1 major research project by ICSSR IMPRESS, which is going on. She has presented her paper in various international conferences like Middlesex University, UK in 2008. She has presented paper in Pennsylvania University, USA. She has also presented in Princeton University, USA. Part of the panel selected by NK College to visit King's College, New York, Ellsworth Towns College, Philadelphia, and Georgia, Washington University, Washington. She has presented paper in Bangkok University, Delaware University, USA, and also She has selected by NK College to visit USA and Canada for finalization of MOU in 2017. Also, she has a part of the panel selected by NK College to visit Florida University of Orlando, USA. She has handled the jobs like coordinator as IQSC, coordinator as RUSA, coordinator as ISO. She has the convener of attendance committee and mentoring coordinator of UGC add-on course. She ran 4 courses in her college. She was also coordinator NAC reaccreditation in 3rd cycle. She is running MA Geography in her college. She is coordinating with the international initiatives. She is director of Incubation Center. She is also working with me as a board of study member in University of Mumbai. She is life member of 7 national professional bodies and annual member of 1 international body. Because of her work, she has got lot of awards also. Out of that few, I am going to read here. Best in the, Faculty Award 2012, Best Researcher Award 2013 by EET, Award for Contribution in Research by Indus Foundation USA, Nation Builder Award Rotary Club 2020, and the Real Superwoman Award 2020 by FSAI Former Star India Award. So we are very happy to welcome such a madam who is very expert in not only research and research proposals, but as a good academician, she is also famous in our Mumbai University and all over India. I welcome once again to Moushmi madam in
Thank
this
you.
today's national webinar, and hope you will guide us, and your guidance will give some type of help to all the participants who have joined today. Welcome once again, Moushmi ma'am. And
Thank you.
just
Thank
now
you,
I
Anita madam.
hand over to you. You can carry on your presentation.
Good morning to everyone. Thanks a lot. At the outset, first of all, I would like to thank the management, the governing council, the principal of the college, as well as the head of the department of geography for inviting me for this webinar. I'm highly obliged to be one of you today, and I think I will be able to give justice to the topic which has been provided to me. Today I will start I will be going very slow, and although the title of the webinar is first we have to go with the research paper and then the research proposal, I was just discussing with Anita madam today morning that I have changed the flow to research proposal and then to research paper, because then I think at the end of the session you will realize this type of flow, research proposal to research paper, will make our session much more lively and much more easy to grasp with. So today I'm starting my session with my due respect to Rajmata Jijabai Bhosle and to Vivekananda, and I hope I will be able to give my best to this session. Thank you. I will take a second for sharing my screen and we'll start with the program. I request all the participants that whenever they have any query, to put it up in the chat box so that I can see, or otherwise we can even address to the questions when I finish my session. But I will definitely not get disturbed if you ask me in the middle of the session as well. Thank you. I'm trying to remove this out because it is causing a hindrance to my presentation. Can the technical team help me with that? Anita madam, can the technical team help me with that?
Hello.
Yes, sir. I just want to remove this this part from my screen so that my screen is visible, but the full screen is visible.
Your screen
Will
is
that be,
visible.
will that be possible?
Your screen is visible, ma'am.
My screen is visible. Fine, fine, fine.
Yes, yes.
Because I am not able to see my screen since many, this tag words are coming. So if you move them, I am not able to see my screen fully. This bars are coming, 2 bars are coming on the top and the bottom. I'm not able to see my screen.
Stop sharing and reshare again.
Okay, fine. Remove them, please. Yeah, it's removed. Yeah, it's removed. I could do it. Yeah.
Madam.
Yes, I've done it. I have done it. I've done it. Thank you. Yes. Yes, I start my presentation. My presentation is on effective skills for research proposals and research paper. The flow of as I said, first of all, I will be going with the research proposal and then I will be taking over the research paper. Now, my flow of my presentation will be like this. It will be first, we will be discussing about the rules of thumb for research. This is very much necessary before we start with the skills and the effective format for writing a research proposal. So this is very, very necessary. So rules of thumb for research we will be discussing. Then my second part will be format of a research proposal for funding. I will be mentioning some of the funding agencies because it might be helpful for some of the participants. Some common errors which we generally make in research proposals and research papers. Then I will shift my focus from research proposal to parts of a research paper. And then I will end my presentation with some few tips about publishing research papers. Now, before I start, now among the participant list, I was discussing with Anita madam, there are many who are academicians, like they're all my colleagues. And there are quite a number of students of PG department also who have joined this webinar. Students, maybe writing a research proposal may not be used now for you, but definitely it will be fruitful to you in future. And research paper is always a part of your PG curriculum also. So that is why I feel that this formats and the skills for research proposal and for research paper is equally appealing to academicians like me as well as to the students. Now, generally, what do we actually mean by research? Nowadays, research has become a tag word. We might say everyone is researching. So like if you ask a child like which toy he wants, even he will say, let me find out from Google. So what is he actually doing? he is actually researching. He's trying to find out which one is the best toy for him, or rather which model of the toy is best for him. So he's trying to seek the truth. He is trying to find out some knowledge or gain some knowledge. But actually, today what we will be doing is not informal like this. We will be talking of formal research. We are all academicians present here. So we will be talking about academic research and not the informal research which generally we do. So academic research, as Principal Sir has already said, that it increases our knowledge because we seek the truth, we seek new knowledge. So it increases, we develop as an academician whenever we are involved in research. So I take, if I take one letters from the word research, I always feel that research in a single word, it is very difficult to say what is research, it's very difficult. We can say research is an opportunity to explore the truth and gain knowledge. It provides us with new ideas. It is, for some, it is an earnings as well, because when your research ideas are used by some industry or some similar avenues, you get an earning as well. It is a development. You develop as a researcher. Definitely research, you deal with a problem, find out a solution, and it leads to innovation. So research is innovation. When you research with a particular topic, you develop your experience. You develop your experience. It is a journey of experience. So research, the synonym of research can be experience. Definitely. As a researcher, it is a curiosity to learn more. And overall, research is nothing, but it is a growth. So many ideas are actually hidden in that small word research. We have got certain rules of thumb for research, 5 small rules of thumb for research, and let us understand them. And I'm sure if we follow these rules of thumb for research, whether you're writing a research proposal or you're writing a research paper, everything becomes crystal clear. First of all is that your research should be very, very clear. It should be very, very clear. None of us here are Shakespeare's, neither whoever will be reading our researches are Shakespeare's. So we should always avoid flowery language at all costs. Your research language should be very, very simple and crystal clear and straight. You should impress people by the quality of the research. And when will that quality of the research will come? Quality of your ideas, quality of your recommendations, how fruitful your recommendations are, and not by using flowery, poetic, multisyllabic terms. So first thing which we have to keep in our mind is that use clear, simple language. I call it we, academicians, often use some technical language, maybe take, for example, I am from a field of geography. I start using technical language, maybe Anita madam will be understanding, but there are 1,200 participants in this webinar. Everyone is not from geography. So everyone is not supposed to understand. Suppose somebody is there from management, he might also use a jargon from his language, from his subject that I will not understand. So the second thing which we have to remember, because nowadays research has become multidisciplinary in nature. When I'm writing a research proposal and sending it to the funding agency, it is not like that all geographers are sitting there to analyze your research proposal. There can be a subject expert, but along with him, there can be other people as well. So using jargons, which is a technical language of the subject, we have to avoid. You know, the other day, I was just reading about a research paper, about a research proposal rather, and from management. And they have used certain jargons like rank and yank. Now, rank and yank, just because I have done my PhD in management, I knew what is rank and yank. But I'm sure people who are there from other subjects will not understand what is rank and yank. So what is this rank and yank? Rank and yank is a term when the employees of an organization is compared with other employees, with the colleagues, when you are compared, and accordingly your increments are done. Accordingly, your ranks are maintained. So people belonging to lower ranks are always removed from the job. So that is rank and yank. Okay, so we have got uses like Kaizen, that is change for the better. It's in Japanese term. So many research papers of Japan, people writing from Japan, they will often use the word Kaizen, which is change for the better. Even 20% time, if you ask a person from commerce or from management, they will love the idea of 20% time. But if you tell me, a geographer, 20% time, I will not understand what is that 20% time. 20% time means that in an organization, when 20% time is given to the employee to do whatever they feel like. It may not be connected with your work. So it says that when you allow that person to do whatever they feel like doing for that 20%, the productivity of that person increases. So all these are management terms. I've just taken an example from management. So in every subject, there might be jargons used. So please do avoid using jargons, whether you're writing your research proposal or you're writing a research paper. So my first rule of thumb is stop using flowery languages, and second is stop using the jargons. Second, always use active voice. Use direct and clear sentences, no roundabout manner. In technical writing, long passive voices are generally avoided. Take, for example, I've given an example here. Beautiful giraffes roam the savannah. If I use it like this, you know, some people might say, beautiful giraffes roam the savannah. Savannah is roamed by beautiful giraffes. Why go round and round the trees? We will have to be very, very straightforward when we write a research proposal. So number one was clear, using clear language, no flowery language. Number two was no using the jargons. And number three, using direct sentences, that is the active voices are preferred. Point number three, which we have to remember, is varying the length of the sentences. You know, if you go through some of the, like in some of the PhD theses also, you will find very, very lengthy sentences. Generally, it is said that you should avoid lengthy sentences. What you should do, you should combine short sentences followed by little longer sentences, not very long. So that it is said that that increases the interest of the reader. So we have to vary the length of the sentences. So what was my first rule? Clear language, no use of flowery language, no use of jargons. Number two was using active tenses. And number three is varying the length of the sentences. Some short sentences followed by medium length sentences, and trying to avoid the long sentences. Always, you know, use proper tenses, always. Now, in research papers, generally you use a past tense. Why do we use a past tense in research papers? Because a research has already been conducted. After conducting the research, you are writing the research paper. So past tense is mostly done for research papers, or sometimes present tense is also common. You see, Western countries research papers, it is mostly written in present tense, but sometimes in India we write in past tense also. You know, when we are writing the research methodology, we say that was conducted, this was taken, and so on. Future tense is never used for a research paper. Future tense is only used for a research proposal. I will come to it later on of my presentation also. Why future tense is used for research proposal? Because research proposal means you are providing a skeleton of the research which you will be conducting if funding is provided to you. So you have not yet conducted the research fully. You are going to conduct it. For going to conduct, you will have to follow some steps. So for research proposals, we always use future tense. And when we are writing a research paper, it has to be present tense or a past tense. This is very, very important. You know, whenever you write a research paper means what? In simple language, I understand research paper, research means having a problem and finding a solution and giving a recommendation. These three steps I understand very well, that problems, solution, and recommendation. To move from problem to find a solution to give recommendation, you have to follow a proper process. When we follow a proper, when we, excuse me, there's a call from, just a moment, please. Hello.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
हेलो मैडम, आपका साउंड नहीं आ रहा है। मैडम, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ। नहीं होतो अनम्यूट करने होत हाँ मैडम मेरा आवाज आ रहा है
Can you hear? मेरा आवाज आ रहा है? मेरा आवाज आ रहा है?
या
Yeah, you can hear me?
you can start
I can start?
yes
Hear me?
yeah
Sorry, participants, there's a technical hinge. It happens in webinar. So the last step is that, the fifth step is that you should always allow somebody else to read the paper. That is very, very important. At least your colleagues, friends, you can allow them to read the paper, because when somebody, suppose for me, when I do my research, I generally fall in love with my research. I always feel that whatever I am writing, it is the end of everything. But that is not the somebody else, somebody from outsider, when they read the paper, they will be able to tell you the actual feedback, and that is very, very necessary for a research paper or a research proposal. So whenever I myself give a research proposal or a research paper, I always ask my colleagues to read and give a proper feedback that where did I go wrong, which ideas they did not like, and so on. So these 5 points are very, very important when we go for writing a research paper or a research proposal. So I will just go back. I'm not able to change my screen also. Yeah. So what did we write about this research paper? How it should be? First of all, using clear, no use of flowery languages, no use of jargons, using active sentences. Generally, we should not use passive voices. Varying the length of the sentences. It should be short sentences followed by so-called long sentences, but not very long sentences. Generally, for a research paper, we use a past tense, but for a research proposal, we use a future tense. And research papers, present tense is also very common. And the most important thing is that we should allow somebody else to read our ideas or read our paper before really it goes out for publication, or a research proposal goes out to the funding agencies. So this, in short, was what we should remember before we start writing a research proposal or a research paper. Now, my second part of the presentation is the format. Now I've decided I will write a research proposal. That means I will write some steps. I will write about my ideas to a funding agency so that they can fund me and I can do a research. So for writing a research proposal, it is very important to follow a format, an internationally accepted format. We all should remember a research proposal is a statement on how you intend to carry on your research. It is not a research, it is an intention, it is a statement on how will you carry on your research. If they fund you, you will carry on the research. It is essentially stating that what are you going to investigate and how you are going to accomplish your investigation. Now, if they are satisfied with what you are going to investigate and how you are going to investigate, a funding agency will fund you, otherwise not. So to state your idea properly, there is a need to follow a format. So now we will be starting on the format of a research proposal. You see, generally, I believe your research proposal should be very, very convincing. It should be so convincing that the research funding agency, whether it is UGC or it is ICSSR or University of Mumbai, anyone it can be, your research proposal should be very, very convincing. They should be convinced that whatever fund they are providing you will lead to a good research, will lead to a good recommendation, which can be applicable and will bring a change to the policy and bring a change to the society. So my friends, it is not only writing a good proposal. Every one of us can write a good proposal, but we have to write a great proposal. When it is a great proposal, then only we can say that our funding views will be accepted. We will be getting the fund. You know, what is the amount of the fund is not very important. Main thing of pride is that you have been funded. That means the idea which you have said, the system, the process which you have told, it is convincing to them, and that is why it has become a great proposal and it has been funded. So you should write your proposal in such a manner so that the subject is worth to study. It should bring some scientific advancement if you're belonging to science, or it should be application oriented. Always remember, when you're writing a proposal, you should be sticking to a particular area, a very narrow field. You know, you just cannot, in a single research, you cannot have the study area full of India. You cannot do that. You should have to have a very specific subject area, specific narrow field, and work on those proposals. So let us find out how to make a great proposal. Let us understand the format and the flow of making a great proposal. You know, this concept proposal came from the Western countries. Now, in the Western countries, the researchers were thinking that, how they should start. There should be something from where they should start writing a research proposal. In the Western countries, oak tree, oak is a symbol of life. Oak is a symbol of strength, of endurance. It is a morale. It is a sign of a morale. It is a sign of knowledge. It is a sign of something beginning. So they decided that they will take the example of an oak leaf. An oak leaf, generally, you can see how many leaves are there. It has got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has got 7 points. So they said a research proposal, when you are giving it for funding, should have 7 points. What are those 7 points? T for title, I for introduction, P for problem statement, O for research objectives, LI for review of literature, ME for research methodology, and R for reference. They called it as tie polymer. T, title, I, introduction, P, problem, O, objectives, LI, review of literature, ME, research methodology, and R, reference. So a researcher who is applying for a research funding should have this 7 points. Times changed. Today, we are in the modern era. And in the modern era, the 7 points are not enough for getting a fund. We should have 10 points. That is why I personally feel now my research proposal should not be compared with an oak leaf, but it should be compared with a star which has got 10 heads. Let us find out what are these 10 points. And if we are able to satisfy this 10 points, your research proposal will definitely not go unfunded. Majority of the funding agencies have their own format also, but you will find little ups and downs. The same points are included in it. So we have to remember this 10 points to have a good research proposal. What are these 10 points? Research project title and abstract, introduction and conceptual background, problem statement, research objectives and hypothesis, review of literature, research methodology, innovativeness, implication and relevance of the proposed study, proposed budget, time frame, reference, and plagiarism. It is sounding confusing. It is. But I will be dealing with each and every point in detail so that at the end of the program, all of us are able to write a fantastic, a great research proposal. So let's start with our research proposal with the modern structure of research proposal. Number one, as I said, photo, the picture here indicates we generally snatch our hair to get a project title. Let us see what exactly we have to look into when we are choosing a proper project title, how title should come, whether you're dealing with a research paper or you're dealing with the research proposal. Now, I personally believe the project title is the most challenging. Why the title is the most challenging? Because it is read the most. From the title itself, you can understand a little bit about what is following. But your title of the research, whether it is a project title or a paper title, should be very brief. It should not go line to line. It is not a research paper. It has to be very brief, at the same time, very clear and very meaningful. It is accepted that maximum 15 words should be the length of the title. I generally call the title a mini abstract. Why do I call it a mini abstract? Because as soon as I see the title, I understand that what exactly is there in the research paper in the proposal. So it's a mini abstract. It paints a quick picture about the proposal. At the same time, it should be brief and clear, no using flowery languages. So it should be written in such a manner, the title, it should be easy to remember. And as I told you, it is read the most. So we have to be very, very particular when we are selecting, when we are deciding on the project or the research paper title. Let us see some examples. Take for example, I have a research paper where the title is Red-Haired Musicians and Their Preference for Musical Style. I try to change it. Yes, I write it music style preference of red-haired musicians. Although I cannot see the participants here today, but if we were physically present, we will definitely admit that the second title is much more appealing than the first one, although it means the same thing. The first title unnecessarily have added and there is no need to do that. We can just be very, very straight. Music style preference of red-haired musician. Second title, African politics. Yes, it is definitely very, very short, very short. But really, can you really understand what the researcher will be exactly studying in African politics? There are so many fields of African politics, okay? It can be political parties, it can be democracy, it can be the way, the process, so many things are there. So if a researcher just writes African politics, don't you feel it is very vague? He has not gone into the inner part of the research. So the title should be short, but it should not be so short that a reader cannot understand anything about your research paper or research proposal. Sometimes we write like this, a title, a study to investigate the education level. Why so? If you want to investigate, you have to study. So why do you write a study to investigate? Directly we can write investigation of the education level of so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. So my dear friends, it should be short, but at the same time, it should be meaningful also. We should be very, very careful about choosing the title. Read your title again and again, and then only finalize your title. Now, what did I say? Finalize your title. Me, from my personal experience, whenever I write a research proposal or a research paper, I do not finalize my title at the first go. I start my research proposal or a research paper writing with a working title. And then at the end, I come back and finalize my title. My dear participants, try out this tactics. You will find that making the title becomes crystal clear. You become sure about what you have done, and you will be fantastic in putting right words into your title. So always start with a working title. Your title should be such so that it can capture the attention. It's just like a movie, you know. It should be such that it works as a climax, that what will happen at the climax. It should be such that when others, when they read the title, become curious, they want to know about their research. Title should be such where little bit you have condensed your ideas, what you are going to say, little bit that portrayal is there in the title. Your titles, as I said, no use of descriptive terms, no fancy words, should not be longer than 15 words, not brainstorming. Your title should not be such that 4 or 5 people have to sit and find out what you actually mean by your title. It should be very, very clear. Very important point. When you are giving your research proposal for funding, most of the funding agencies, the sponsors, they also have an idea. So you should see that the title matches with the ideas of the sponsors. In short, you should be working, you know, some people feel that we should not be working much on the title, but I feel you should be working very high, thinking very deep about your title, because it is your title which will differentiate your proposal from the others. It is your title which will convert your proposal from a good proposal to a great proposal. It is your title which will make people remember your proposal or a research paper. So always think deep about the title and start with the working title. So friends, we are done with the project title. We have with us a working title. Now, let us go to the abstract. Again, when we are writing an abstract, now whether it is a research proposal or a research paper, you have to write an abstract. So even abstract, you can never write for a research paper specifically, you can never write an abstract unless and until you have completed the research paper. I will tell you why. Now, when you're writing an abstract, say for a research proposal, you should give 2 to 3 lines of introduction. You should have the objective, what you're dealing with. You should also write 2 lines on methodology. You should write 2-3 lines on expected results. From the methodology, what are you expecting? What is the significance of your research? What resources you require? So always try to keep space for the abstract and come back to the abstract at the end of the research proposal. Now you must be wondering, every time, whatever I'm saying, I'm telling you that you come back afterwards. And what is to be done now? Don't worry. Lots of things has to be done now. So just like research title, we will be finalizing after we write the proposal. Similarly, the abstract also has to be written at the end, because we have to write 2 lines of everything what we do. As far as your research paper is concerned, you don't write expected results. In a research paper, as I said, you have already conducted the research. So you write the results. You write the results, you write the conclusion, you write the recommendation. There is no need to write the resources required. No one is funding you. You have already done your research. So you tell me, my friends, unless and until I complete my research, can I write about the result? Can I write about the conclusion? Can I write about the recommendation? No. So it should always be written at the end. So I completed my first point, the first hand of my star, project title and abstract. I'm very clear on that. Project title will be the working title, and abstract also. Both of them, we will be completing it after we have completed writing the proposal. My next point, number 2 point, we come to introduction. Here you can say that we are starting to write a research proposal. So number 2 is introduction. When you're writing the introduction, what are you going to write? You're going to write, I always say introduction is a gentle beginning. It is not a real beginning. It is a gentle beginning of the research. You are just introducing the topic in front of the readers. You are explaining why this study is very, very important. Always the introduction should be written in 3rd person, as if somebody from outside is looking into it. Your introduction should be such as if you are preparing the readers for the journey of research. Once you have done your introduction, my second point is conceptual. My second point is conceptual background. You know, in some of the research proposals, we make use of theories. So that is very, very important. So you have to write about those theories in your conceptual background. So in introduction and conceptual background, generally for a research paper is written in the same paragraph. But when you write it as this one in a research proposal, it is written differently. So conceptual framework generally makes the ideas much more clearer. Conceptual framework can be presented in a form of a diagram, or it can be presented in a form of a mental map, or it can be presented as a flow chart. Actually, conceptual framework gives the rationale of your study, that's why you have taken the decision of doing this study. So conceptual background, if you're using some theories, please do make use of the conceptual framework, because conceptual framework makes the ideas much more clearer and it requires urgent attention. So if you're writing a research paper, part of the introduction can be a conceptual framework. Take, for example, I am studying on migration. When I'm studying about migration, I'm using the theory of spillover theory. So in the introduction itself, as I end my introduction, I will write in 2 lines that I will be using this theory for solving my problem in my research paper. So that gives again a reason why you're using a theory. That gives helps you to give a better decision about your topic. So whenever you are using some concepts in your research paper, please do include it within your introduction. Or if you're using concepts in your research proposal, please do make it a separate heading and and write down just after the introduction about the conceptual framework. Then the concepts can become clearer to the readers. So friends, we have the project title done, project abstract done. No, it is not done. We will come back in the later part. We have the introduction done. We have the conceptual background also done. Conceptual background, as I said, can be added up in very short for a research paper, but for a research proposal, it has to be a different paragraph. Now I'm coming to the problem statement. After all, what is a research? Research is solving a problem. So every research has a problem. I call the problem statement as a core of my research. If the problem is not there, it is not a research at all. You have to investigate about something. You have to investigate about the problem. So a problem statement is the core of my research proposal. A problem statement will tell why we are doing the research. This will make the project very, very important. You should tell your sponsorer that this problem is very, very important. It is definitely needed. The research is needed here and it should be funded. So your problem should be why you're doing a research. Take, for example, I thought that, you cannot get a problem one fine morning, you get up and you find that this is a problem, I will start with my research. No, you have to think, you have to revisit, and you have to find out where your interest is, and then only you can find out a problem. Take, for example, I have a slum beside my house. Now, in that slum, during the rainy season, waterborne diseases are very, very high. So I try to find out why waterborne diseases are high. I see that it is because of the untreated sewage. It is because of the untreated sewage. So untreated sewage is causing waterborne diseases among the slum dwellers of Mumbai. Don't you feel, my friends, this is a severe problem and this needs to be addressed. So this becomes my problem. From this problem, I will develop objectives, I will develop my methodology, and then I will try to complete my research. So you should always, there must be a problem in your research proposal or research paper which you are trying to solve. In research, I always find this is the excellent section of the proposal. If your problem is worth to be identified, to be funded, to be solved, no one can stop you from getting the funds. So this is the excellent part of the proposal, and we as a researcher should be very, very careful when we are selecting a problem about when we are selecting a problem for our research. So the problems can be many, the academicians who are from the scientific background, they can deal with the theories also, criticism of a theory, application of a theory. You can deal, you can have a problem of day-to-day problems, like as what I have given the example, there's waterborne diseases in the Mumbai slums. Definitely it is a day-to-day problem. You can deal with day-to-day problem. Or if you're belonging to that part of science which deals with technology, you can definitely deal with innovations in technology. So the problems can differ from your subject to subject, but you should have a problem. If you cannot, if a problem is not there, what research you will actually be doing? And not only that, when you're selecting a problem, you have to be sure that others have not found out a solution to that problem. Then it does not remain a problem. So for that also, we have to work out something. But problem in a research proposal, identification of the problem and putting forward that problem is very, very important. Because when you put forward your problem, this increases the importance of your, it increases the importance of your paper, of your research. So your funding becomes much more easier. So now I've decided the working project title. rather working title. Abstract, I'll come back to it later on. We know how to write the introduction. I will give introduction of what research I'll be doing and adding up conceptual background also. I've identified a problem and I've written down about the problem statement. Once till the problem statement is over, you just cannot approach the problem as it is. From the problem statement, we have to write down the research objectives. So research objectives becomes the path of a research. It shows the path of the research, that what are you going to do in future. Generally, the research objective should not be neither too many or too less. The length of the sentences also, it should not be very, very long, or it should be medium-sized sentences. Never write your objectives to study so-and-so, to investigate so-and-so. Don't write like that. You can write in a better way: to determine, to develop, and a favorite term in research is solve, to solve, and so on. So write your research objectives in such a manner so that the problem which you are addressing can easily be solved. You can easily find out a solution. Your research becomes achievable. Your research becomes measurable. So when your research objectives should always come from the research problem which you are trying to solve. So your research objective must match with the problem. Your problem is one and you're solving and you're giving the objective another. That is not the way. Take for example, my problem was to what about diseases in the slums of Mumbai, and my research objective cannot be to find out the level of air pollution in slums of Mumbai, because I'm dealing with water pollution, not with air pollution. So it should always match with the research problem. So friends, we are done with working title, abstract later on, introduction, conceptual background, problem statement, research objectives. In many of the research proposals, sometimes we put forward a question, or we do not put forward a question, we write an hypothesis. That depends upon the nature of the research proposal which you are doing. Now, actually, when you are writing a research question, or you're writing a research hypothesis, what are you actually doing? Some of the assumptions, you're doing an assumptions and you're trying to find out from the assumptions. Now, you can explain what is expected to occur, but whenever you're writing an assumption or a research question, it should be very, very clear and understandable. It should be testable. It should be measurable. Moreover, whenever you're writing a research hypothesis, it should have an independent variable and a dependent variable. Let us find out how that works out. Now, most of the researchers like us, we are very, very confused sometimes to differentiate between an independent variable and a dependent variable. Just remember one thing: independent variable causes a change in dependent variable. If we remember this, we can easily write down our question, or we can easily write down our research hypothesis. An independent variable causes a change in dependent variable. I give you an example. Take for example, I write down time spent studying causes a change in test score. We see that time spent studying must be an independent variable and test score must be a dependent variable. Why? Because if we study more, maybe our test score increases. But if we study less, our test score becomes less. So the time spent studying is influencing the test score, but the test score is not influencing the time spent studying. So you have to differentiate very well between an independent variable and a dependent variable. Generally, independent variable is a cause and dependent variable is a effect. One more example I can give you. Do tomatoes grow faster under fluorescent or natural light? So which one is an independent variable? Type of light is an independent variable. And what is a dependent variable? Dependent variable is a rate of growth of the tomato plant. So on the type of light, your rate of growth of tomato plant is depending. So you have to be very, very careful when you're writing the hypothesis or when you're writing the research question. Generally, we write a null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. We try to prove it either quantitatively or qualitatively. Then you accept one hypothesis and you generally do not accept the other. You reject the other hypothesis. So friends, we have reached till the fourth point where we have the working title, the abstract, the introduction, the conceptual framework, the problem statement, the research objectives, and then followed by, depending upon your study, the research question and the hypothesis. Then I come to a very important part of research, that is review of literature. Review of literature is not very much liked by the researchers, but it is a compulsory part of research, whether you're doing a research proposal or you are doing a research paper. In fact, I would say you really need very effective skill to do a review of literature. Let us see if we're able to do so or not. So what is a literature review? A literature review is a survey of scholarly sources that provides an overview of a particular topic. Why do we do literature review? To find out whether gaps are there in research or not. Take, for example, I am studying about traffic problems in Mumbai. Okay, I will go to the library. Now, a library always becomes the first place from where research should start. Nowadays, instead of physical library, we have e-library as well. Whatever it is, a library has books, it has got journals. From the journals, we can get the articles, it has got reports and so on. So I tried to find out that who else have studied about traffic congestion in Mumbai. So once I start finding out from the books, I start writing down also who has studied what aspect of traffic problems. And then I can also get that there are certain parts of the study which is not studied by anyone else. So that becomes a gap in research. So unless and until you do a literature review, you cannot mention the gap in research. Friends, for a research proposal, finding out the gaps in research is very, very important. If you are not able to prove the gaps in research, you will not be funded, because a funding agency will never provide you money for a research which has already been conducted. You have to do a research which is an untouched one. So how can you say it is an untouched one? When you do a literature review in a proper manner. So we can say a literature review is a stepping stone for research. A literature review helps us to be up to date. It provides us a background. It is a handy guide, and it increases the credibility of your research. Why credibility? You have just not started the research out of the bloom, you have referred to so many books, so many journals, so many big researchers must have dealt with your research, and you have referred them. So it increases the credibility of your research. What will be the sources of your research? It can be books, it can be journal articles, it can be newspaper articles, it can be historical records. You can go through the reports, statistical information, you can go through thesis and dissertation. There are so many ways by which you can do your literature review, but just like the research cat tells here, please do not use Wikipedia. because Wikipedia is not an acceptable source for research. So we have to follow what the research cat says. In Western countries, they always follow the research cat. That has become a monologue, a sign of research. So no Wikipedia is accepted. Generally, although you cannot refer to Wikipedia, and generally we do not follow, Google also, but definitely we have Google Scholar, which is a subset of Google web search. Google Scholars, they have so many articles, so many theses, books, abstracts. Just now I said we nowadays, instead of physical library, we are going to e-libraries also. So Google Scholar can always be consulted, whether it is a research proposal or a research paper. In Google Scholar, there are many facilities, like you can search for articles. You can build up your own library there also. There is an option where you build your library. So whatever articles you download, you can add it to the library, and later on, when you get time, you can read the articles one after the other. So instead of looking into so many books, see the researcher here, he's totally confused about which book to look through. He can easily go to Google Scholar and build up his own library. You can also set up alerts. Whenever a new paper or a new research paper or a new thesis is added on your topic which you have searched, you can easily get an alert, and you can get back and read the book, or you can read the article, whatever. Not only that, Google Scholar, I find that it has a cite button also. Citation is a very, very important part, whether it is a research proposal or a research paper. You have to cite very well. Cite means what? You're giving credit to whatever you have consulted. So you have a citing button there also. You just have to put the information about the book or a journal which you have referred, and you have to put the style which you want, APA style. There are many styles of citation, whether it is APA style or it is a MLA style, whatever it may be. So you can give, and within seconds, your citation comes up. So I always tell my research students that please get use of this Google Scholar citation. Now, within 10 minutes, actually, you can set up your reference, okay? Although nowadays you have got many other websites also where automatic citations are done, but Google Scholar also provides one. So Google Scholar is very, very different from Google. Google searches public web content. Okay, that is why most of the teachers or most of the research guides, all the research guides who are present here will say they completely no for using Google's. But Google Scholar is entirely different. Google Scholars, you have your scholarly books and articles and documents, so you can very well use it. So in a literature review, you should add up your some very, the literature review actually, there is a controversy, like what type of books, what type of materials I should see, or from when we should see. So some subjects might require very old connections, or some subjects like science especially, we do literature review with current situations only. But whenever you refer a book or something, please do write down the information very well. Take, for example, I always say like this, researcher's name you write down, the date of publication you write down, paper title, or it is a book. If it is a book, then book title, and for which objective you have already developed the objective, for which objective this study is referring to, first objective, second objective, third objective, right, like that. So at the end, your referencing and doing the citation becomes much more easier. When you're writing a literature review, do not write in a single paragraph. It becomes very, very monotonous to read it. You divide your literature review into 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion, always. Okay, and you might include international studies, you might include national studies, and at the end of writing a literature review, you should write about the research gap, that what gaps are present in the research. Take for example, when I wanted to do a research on the traffic problems of Mumbai, I searched just like you all about books and journals and articles, and I found out after doing a literature survey that there are many studies on the traffic problems of Delhi, on the traffic problems of Asansol, on the traffic problems of Gwalior using GIS technology. But there are practically there are no studies of traffic problem solution using GIS in Greater Mumbai. So that was the gap which I could find out from the literature review, and that gap I took over. Now the IMPRESS project, major research project which I'm doing, it is on the traffic problem solution by using GIS. So I could prove that you have to fund me. Why you have to fund me? For two reasons. Number one reason is that traffic problem solution is very, very important as far as Mumbai is concerned. And secondly, no one else have done it, and I am doing it. My idea is very, very innovative and the first one. And so every sponsorer, every funding agency will fund me. Friends, through literature review only, you can identify the research gap and prove the importance of research. This is a very important skill when you are writing a research proposal. Unless and until you show the research gap, unless and until you prove through your research gap what you're doing is unique, you will never be funded. So friends, we have done project title, a working title, abstract coming back later, introduction we have done with conceptual background, problem statement we have finished, we have identified the problem. From the problem, I've taken out the objective. Then I found out the review of literature. Review of literature has helped me to find out who has studied about it, where it has been studied, and what is not studied. What is not studied becomes my area, my innovation, and that I will study, and hence the funding will be done. Now I have to tell in the proposal, I have to add what will be the method of my research. How will I start the research? What will be the process of my research, which we call research methodology. It is equally an important part. In a research methodology, always write so research methodology, I call the procedure of research. Always do the coverage, which area are you covering? Like me, I was covering Greater Mumbai. So I will write down Greater Mumbai is my area of study. Always mention the data source from where you will be getting the data. Always mention the data collection. If it is a secondary data, from where have you collected, which libraries you have gone? If it is a primary data, if it is a research project proposal, how will you conduct? If it is a research paper, which you have already done, how you have conducted. Take for example, see, in the box, type of survey, roadside survey. How I will do? With the help of questionnaire survey. See, I'm telling them the method of survey. This is very important. You have to tell them the method of your survey. Second point, you see, what is the type of survey? Traffic count survey. How will you do? 4 different time levels in each ward. What are the timings I will be do? That also I have mentioned. So these type of information should be provided. Then only a research proposal, becomes an authentic one. They will understand you are not writing something which is from the air. You have worked, you have studied your research problem, which you are serious about your research problem, and they are able to fund you. So this is very important. And number 4 will be data analysis. For a research paper, analysis is already done. Then you're writing a research paper and your research proposal. What type of analysis will you do? That has to be written. You're using SPSS, you're using what type of softwares, or if you're using only Excel, you have to write down about the data analysis. So procedure of research is very, very important, which you have to write when you're writing a research proposal. So friends, we have the working title, the abstract, which is not ready, introduction, conceptual framework, problem statement, which is the core of my research. From the problem statement, I have identified the research objectives. And with the research objectives, I've written down research question or hypothesis, which is achievable and measurable. Then I've done the review of literature. From the review of literature, I have identified the research gap, which is very, very important and a very new concept in research. And then you have shown the importance of your research. And then I have mentioned the procedure of my research. If I'm funded, how will the procedure of the research go on? Every time when you're writing a research proposal, you should say that it is innovative in nature. Your research will bring innovation. Very, very important. Okay, that is your, you don't have to be Newton for that. You don't have to be an Einstein for that. Only a little bit, that's something new you have touched. Take, for example, when I was solving the problem, when I am still doing it, solving the problem of traffic congestion problem, I have said that no one has done with the help of GIS, which is geospatial technology. I will be using geospatial technology. My dear friends, don't you feel this is something new? This will be something innovative? Yes, it will be. Okay. From the study, I have told them, from the study, I will be finding out new nodes in my travel. And when I find out new nodes, maybe traveling in Mumbai will become much more faster, much more easier, and much more shorter. So, and I have proved through my research methodology that if I work like this, it will bring up new nodes. So it is something innovative, something very, very new. My friends, always in a research proposal, try to find the newness what your research will bring in. Research is something which you're investigating. So you have to find out something new. That is innovation. 2 lines of innovation you will have to write. Even in research papers, if you are giving a research paper for a very good journal, they will always like to see that your research paper has identified a problem, solved a problem, found out something new, and given a recommendation. So friends, we have come till innovativeness. After innovativeness, you should write down about the implication and the relevance of your proposed study. Research you do and keep the documents in the cupboard, it is not a research at all. Research is something when you find out a solution, and that solution either it helps the policymakers or it helps the society. That means it is disseminated, it is spread among everyone. Your research should always have some implication and relevance of the proposed study. So the impact of your research should be written out very well, whether it will be helping the policymakers or it will be helping the society. Okay, so for example, I'm coming to the same example of traffic congestion problem. When I will be able to give some recommendation. So this recommendation can help the policymakers. Don't you feel so? This will help them to make proper decision when they are making some policy about traffic congestion. And if I'm able to recommend something, this will definitely solve the problem of the society, of the economy, and also about the environment. See the amount of air and noise pollution your transportation sector gives out. So even that can be solved. So you see, my research, excuse me, please, excuse me for a second. Thank you. So my research solves the problem also. So this is the implication. So this innovativeness and implication of the research will not be included in many of the formats provided, but somewhere you have to write 2 lines. And what is the innovation of your research? What will be the innovation of your research? And what will be the implication? It will, whether it will help the policymakers or it will help the society. So friends, we have the working title, we have the abstract not yet ready, we have the introduction, conceptual background, problem statement, from problem we got the objective, from objective research question and hypothesis, review of literature, we had showed the gap of research, I have showed the procedure of research, that is research methodology, I have added up innovativeness and implication of research. Now the most important thing is proposed budget. That what will be the budget, you have to give a budget, whether they approve or they don't approve. They have their own budget, but you will have to provide. Generally for a major research project, you have to give budgets of a research staff, because alone you will not roam around everywhere to do a research, isn't it? You need people for that. Research staff, you need field work, you need money. For equipment, it depends upon study to study material you will need, contingency, other things. For publication also you will need. You are using your institution's library, their internet facilities. So even institution has to be given some money. So generally you will have to work out the total amount which you need and how you want to divide it. Research staff should be 45% generally of the total research amount. Field work should be 35%. This type of rule goes on. Equipment should be 10%. Contingency 5% always. Publication is 5%, and institutional overheads should be 7.5 to 5%. That differs. So, and everywhere you have to give justification. You just can't say, I need a research associate. You have to say, why do you need a research associate? What work and how the research associate will help you to do that. In minor research projects, when you're applying, you don't have to be so specific about the heads of expenditure. But for major, where you're dealing with lakhs, you will have to be very, very particular. So friends, we are at the drag end of writing our proposal. The last point where we have to think is the time frame, the reference, and the plagiarism part. Time frame, always make a Gantt chart. Show them like this, that which part of your research, when will you do? When will you, and as soon as you do it, see the cross marks here, I have put the milestones. Maybe this too will be my research methodology, and review of literature, and then I will go for survey. After that will be analysis. So as I complete, I will put the star, put the symbols. So you have to provide a Gantt chart. If you do not have the Gantt chart according to the time, time will just fly away, and whenever a research proposal is given, it has a prescribed time limit, whether it is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So you have to complete within the time limit. So this type of keeping a Gantt chart is very, very important. You can also have a project outline. Like for me, what I do generally for a month, in this month, I'll be working on this. For this month, I'll be working on this. And then I put a tick mark, whether it is done or not done. I'll give you a simple example. Like in this year, in the last year, I had plans for a primary survey, but I could not do primary survey because of the coronavirus pandemic. So I did not meet the target. So I have an explanation why couldn't I do it and why I will be doing it now. So you see, if monthly chalk down plans you do as far as the project proposal is concerned, it is very, very important. So if you give them like this, they know that you're very serious about the work, and money just comes automatically. References, you have to do the references. Excuse me, please. You have to write the references very well. Any style which you are taking, MLA style, APA style, Chicago style, whatever style you are taking, please do have proper citation. Citations shows that you are respecting others' work. So please do have a proper citation and reference. Now, plagiarism has been treated very seriously. Please do have a plagiarism test done before you send a proposal. Generally, up to 10% it is acceptable. Above 10%, your proposal will not be accepted. Even for research papers, plagiarism has become important. So plagiarism also forms a very important part of your research, of your making a research proposal. Generally, when you send a research proposal, the sponsor gives you the points that the formatting techniques. If by chance the sponsor does not give you, you should remember that it should be concise, it should be crisp, it should be original, you should be very clear with language and grammar. That is why the first part, 5 points I had given you. Formatting also, you can use Times New Roman with the font size, line spacing, and the margin. So friends, we have organized our research proposal very well. We have followed the 10 points, which are the modern structure, and we are ready with the research proposal. Now what to do? Next point is funding agency. I have prepared the research proposal. My research proposal is done. Now I should find out the proper funding agency. When you're finding the funding agency, please do see the research proposal which you are sending actually matches with the mission of the funding agency. You are working in the line of management and you are sending to Department of Science and Technology. Your research proposal will never ever be accepted. So see that whatever research proposal topic you take up matches with the mission of the funding agency. These are the names of some of the funding agencies which I have mentioned. Some are national bodies, some are international bodies I have mentioned. I will be sharing my PPT with you if you want, so that you can see them. It's given along with their websites. Please go to the websites and check again and again when they're starting with giving the funds, and you can send your proposals there. These are about, again, these are some other websites which have given, who gives for funding of the proposals, of the research proposals. And at state level also, as far as Maharashtra is concerned, University of Mumbai gives, everyone knows, even Maharashtra State Commission for Women also. Nowadays also every year they have been providing funds for research proposals. Many NGOs and private agencies also give, like Lady Tata Memorial Trust, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, for Ford Foundation also, they give, and they have their own mission. You can see their websites and you can easily send your research proposal for the same. Like we all know, University Grant Commission has come out with STRIDE. Although they have taken the applications, maybe due to COVID, component 1 and component 3 results have come out, whom they're funded, but component 2 results are not yet out. So many of you must be waiting for the STRIDE funding as well. So Ministry of Environment and Forest, MOEF, also funds quite a lot of amount for your research proposals. Okay, ICSSR gives for major research as well as for minor research. You can look into their website. Okay, IMPRESS also, like IMPRESS is actually it is by the central government, but the funding is from the ICSSR. They also give on this 11 points. So if you feel your research actually fits in any of these 11 points, you can very well apply for IMPRESS as well. So very important in research is, research integrity. You should be very responsible in your research proposal. Is something, which should speak for you, that it is very, very responsible. It is very, very responsible for that you will be responsibly carrying on your research, and you should have a very transparent use of the funds. Very well, when you're working with somebody else's money, you have to be very, very careful. When you are responsible as well as careful, then only you can have research proposals and give it for and asking for funds. Now, there are certain common errors which we do as far as research proposals are concerned. I say that the skills, we should have some skills also when you're giving your research proposal for sponsorship. Never rush. I believe in this. Never rush. You should never ask for too much money or too little money. If it is too little money, what will happen? You will be delimiting your own research. And neither you should ask for too much money. Then they will feel that you have not understood your research at well. So you should be very, very specific about the amount of money you're asking for, and you should give the justifications very well. You should never ignore the instructions of the funding agency, and too many things also you don't put in your research proposal. If you put everything in research proposal, what are you going to write in the research report? So don't put too many things into research proposal. Don't keep too tiny fonts or narrow margins, because no one has got that interest. In the same interest that you will be doing, they will not have the same interest to read it with such great care. When you're using some figures or using some tables, don't see the resolutions very well. And moreover, sometimes, when you're giving for research proposal funding, you are asked that how many papers you have cited, or how many papers you have cited. Never cite a paper and write down in preparation or submit it. No, those are papers which are already published only. You should take it for citation. Always download the form which is provided by the sponsorer properly. Use correct format. Please do the proofreading before submission. Make sure everything is legible, and follow all the instructions. Please do follow all instructions, because different agencies have different types of instructions. And moreover, if you do not follow instructions, what will happen? The sponsorer might think that when the principal investigation cannot follow the instruction of the proposal, how will they follow the instruction of the elaborate research? And if you see this picture, it tells you that you see so many proposals are lying, don't fund. Then in between we have maybe fund, and actually funding is very, very less. So you have to be very particular. This 10 points which I have told you has to be followed like a Bible. Then only, you will be able to portray about your research. If you still have a problem, every sponsorer has a program officer whom you can contact. So you can always contact the program officer of the sponsoring agent and ask if you have any problem. And don't ask irrelevant questions. These are also skills. Don't ask irrelevant questions to program officer. Will you fund my research? Who is he to fund your research? There is a committee to decide whether your research will be funded or not. Or sometimes we ask, is this a good research topic? We don't ask intentionally. We ask out of curiosity. But this is a skill. You have to put it on. We have to control ourselves. Certain things we should not ask the sponsorer. Sometimes, they ask, if I send a copy of proposal to you, will you tell me, will you give your opinion? Never ever do, or never ask who will be the reviewers. No, these are fatal mistakes. Once you have given the proposal, stop bothering about it, whether you get it or you don't get it. If you don't get it, there are 1,001 other sponsoring agents also who can sponsor your project. So don't ever ask such questions. Okay. Generally, ideally, what happens when you're doing a research, you're sharing the research findings. So, and that is why, if it gets funded, your research will be done. If it does not get funded, also your research will be done, maybe sometime later or by some other agencies. So what is some of the closing remarks? Generally, what I find, you should never feel ashamed or embarrassed when you're asking for money. Okay, because if you don't ask for money, they will never give money. And you can send your proposal to anyone, and what will happen? The maximum, what will they do? They will say no, nothing else. Okay, so when you're writing a research proposal, you're entering into a competition with brilliant minds. So you have to. There will be some research proposals which will go unfunded. So if your research proposal is unfunded, you don't bother anything about it. You will always get another chance. Now here I would like to quote, I always like this quote by Sachin Tendulkar. He says that you enjoy the game. Chase your dreams, because dreams do come true. So all of us have the same dream of getting our writing an effective research proposal and getting it funded. If not this game, some other game. But if you have a dream, it will definitely come true. So research proposal format we know. So what will be some of the parts of a research paper? How a research proposal is different from a research paper? You know, research proposal tells, as I've said, puts how you're going to do a research, how you're going to investigate. You have not done your research. And a research paper you write after you have completed your research. So that is the main difference between a research proposal and a research paper. A research proposal suggests what you will try to find out a solution to a problem. And research paper already gives you the solution to the problem because you already completed. So I say a research paper is a human being and a research proposal is a skeleton. You're just providing a skeleton. Okay, if the skeleton is liked, you will be funded and doing a research project. And in a research paper, you complete your research paper and then you write a research paper. So actually, what can be the parts of a research paper? The main parts, your paper title, abstract you will have it. Introduction, conceptual background, you will have it. Problem statement, definitely. Problem, objective, hypothesis. Review of literature, definitely. Research methodology, innovativeness, implication. The main difference between a research proposal and a research paper is that in a research paper, you will have the results, you will have the conclusion, you will have the significance, you will have the limitation, and you will have the recommendation. So because you have already completed your research and then the reference and the plagiarism. After you write a research paper, definitely you'll be going for publication. I would like to give you some tips, some skills about a research paper when you're going for publication. When you complete a research paper, please ask your colleague to review a research paper. Always better, because an outsider will be able to tell you the flaws in your research paper. Revise your research paper based on the reviewer's recommendation. After review, if revision has come, modification has come, please do it. Prepare the manuscript according to the journal's requirement. Submit your article when you feel it is ready to go. Half-ended, don't do it. Maybe you do one research paper, but that one research paper should be a quality research paper. Don't panic if you don't get journal's initial responses. Don't panic. Whatever the reviewers of the reviewers say, don't take it otherwise. Take it as a constructive criticism. You are getting an opportunity to improve yourself. And then you can always give it in some other journal. Keep trying. If you have a quality research paper, definitely your paper will be published. If you have written the research proposal in a proper format, if you could tell that your research, this area needs research, your research proposal will definitely be funded. Always familiarize yourself with the potential publications and choose publication that suits your research paper. You know, nowadays choosing the right research journal is also very important, because we are living in the time of fake journals. So you should be very particular and should be very cautious about fake journals. So the hardest part I always feel is to give a kickstart, you know. Once you start, you can easily complete and complete it in a proper manner. The end note, I can only say we wish each other very good luck for the preparation of our funding proposals and research paper. I hope I was very clear with my presentation flow of rules, format of the research proposal, funding agencies, the common errors which we generally do after sending to a funding agency, parts of a research paper, and I ended with few tips on publication of a research paper. I am again grateful to all of you for listening to me and grateful to the college for inviting me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maushmi, for your wonderful session. Throughout 1.5 hours, you are continuously speaking. And now we will take some questions which have come from chat box.
Yes.
Okay, I will request Amol Patil sir to take few questions which have been asked by the researchers and academicians. Please, sir.
I think I'm able to satisfy the quest of
Actually-
research to everyone.
All the questions are concluded in the presentations, but some questions.
1 minute.
Are you audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
1 minute.
Yes.
Question from Raja Chaurasi. Which is a good topic, which will be good to, and how will you?
Sir, your voice is breaking. Repeat once.
Are you audible? Are you audible?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat the question once more, please?
First question asking by Raja Chaurasi.
Yes, sir. I'm not able to hear you. Yes, am I there?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I will repeat the question.
Hello. Yes, yes.
I will repeat the question asking
Yes,
by
sir.
Raja Chaurasiya, which is a good topic, which will be good to work by taking, and how will it be convenient to take the project?
Sir, good topic will depend upon which subject you belong to, sir. That depend upon the subject. And I told you when
Subject belongs to social science.
social science. Okay. Now see, sir, for social science, day-to-day problems will be the most wanted one. Okay. I have told you like how to identify problems. Okay. So in social science, if you see day-to-day problems and I've already spoken about how to identify the problems, and from the problems, how to make the objectives and so on. I think you can make it lively on the basis of that. And again, it depends upon the topic, you know. I will share
Yeah. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
my email ID. If you want, we can discuss that.
Next question from Spandana, research scholar. Spandana is a research scholar
Yeah.
from Human Resource Management at Anandpur, Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
His question is, please give me information about financial assistance and guidelines and how I will apply for any scholarship or fellowship.
Scholarship and fellowship, for that you have to go to the websites and see, because there is in UGC and in ICSSR, they have a scope for scholarship and fellowship. So all through the year, I think you can apply. So you have to go to the websites, you have to download their format, and accordingly you have to apply.
Some people wants your PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, definitely. I will share with Anita madam. Yeah, I will share with Anita madam right now, okay, after the session, so that it can be given. No problem.
Last question from
For you all only.
Sir. Sorry, Sanjit sir. Last question from Sanjit Kundu sir. Respected madam, how do we interpret our observation result in a social research objectively?
Yeah, that is
Do you-
qualitative
another
research. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Boliye.
Yes. Another one is also included in this question. Do you think an observation can be enough to explain social phenomenon?
No, observation may not be enough. You have to carry on survey. Along with survey, you have to add up observation. Okay, and for observation also, you have to write down properly because some proofs will be there. Without proofs, research is not complete.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Hello, thanks to all of you. Very important session. Just today I'm standing here for the vote of thanks. Madam, just if you go through the chat box on YouTube as well as on Zoom, then you will see that number of participants have already expressed their feelings, their best wishes for this presentation. So I would like to say that this is the presentation. This is a small coursework on research. So most of the participants have expressed that it is a short-term coursework, even I can say that, because you have covered all the technical aspect from the defining problem to choosing the right titles up to the review of. This is very core and important area in project proposal, in preparation of project, or even writing at the time of writing of research paper, because this is a very basic problems. Most of freshers as well as even senior teachers are not aware of that, and I think this is a presentation will be valuable property for everyone. So thanks for your acceptance that you are ready to share, as well as I would like to say for all the participants that it is already available on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe it, you can watch it anytime. And the important thing that is related to the ethics, as well as it is related to that approval of your project. You have mentioned what do's and don'ts. That is very important part in your presentation. And I think this is very valuable guidelines for all the scholars, that what should be avoided in preparation of their project, because everyone is expecting that his project should be approved, his proposal should be approved. So madam, thanks that in the key sections you have covered all from point 1 to 10. So once again, I would like to thanks 2-3 presentations on in various conferences and seminars. And even third time I am attending as a host of this webinar, and it will all things each and every point. But seriously, madam, that which all your presentations, each and every slide. So please accept our gratitude from our bottom of heart. Thanks, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm thankful to our management. Okay. I would like to thankful to our president, Honorable Hirabai Butala. He has always encouraged us to organize such type of program. Before the corona, we have organized various live programs, and same scheme is going on even in the period of corona. And it is become possible due to the such type of valuable resource person, as well as such type of leader who have encouraged us time to time. Our Surgeon Secretary, Honorable Mangesh Bhai Butala, as well as our Chairman, Governing Council Chairman, Advocate Anand Raoji Bhosle. I am also thankful to for them for their wholehearted support to all our entire team for conducting such type of programs in our college. Our principal, Dr. Sarang sir, is always available here, not as a leader, but as a team member. This is a very important role for him. He always mentioned that, okay, I am not leader, but I am your team member. So everywhere, if you have any problem, you can ask me as that. So such type of approach is always encouraged to the each and every teacher and each and every person of the each departments. So we are also thankful for them. Our technical staff, our teachers, those who have contributed in a different way for the overall successful or overall effectiveness of this present webinar. So I'm also thankful to them. Last but not least, Anita madam has already mentioned that we have huge response from the various corner of the country, not even the country, even various part of the international platforms. So I'm thankful to all participants. Always we are facing some technical problems like internet failure. Such type of problems are always in this remote area. But even after that, number of participants are connected with us, and number of participants are also communicating. It is our experience that even after 2-3 days that we have watched your presentation, and I think this will be happen again, because this presentation, your presentation was really proved that as a valuable property for that. So I am thankful to all these participants students as well as academicians and various scholars for your kind support for this presentation. We have already shared our feedback link on WhatsApp group. Various WhatsApp group, we have created separate WhatsApp group. Some participants, they are failed to join our WhatsApp group. Feedback link, we have given separate link for this additional WhatsApp group. So you may join that for your certificate. Same link as we have shared feedback link on our YouTube as well as Zoom channel. Submit your feedback if you want certificate. It's because it is very essential for us. Your certificate as well as it is very essential for us to make the improvement in our overall organization of future programs. Thanks, madam.
Thank you.
So thanks once again.
Thank you. I can quit. Sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anita, madam, please.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mufti, once again.
Thank you, Anita. Yeah, I can quit.
It was very nice, very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah, because of some technical issues, it was.
No,
No,
that happens. That happens. I will share the PPT with you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So kind.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, and you also share your email ID, means if it is required to by any participant. So we will
Yes,
provide
I will
it.
give you. I will give you in,
Yeah,
in WhatsApp. In WhatsApp.
It means.
Yeah, I'm sending you in my
If you
WhatsApp, in your
permit.
WhatsApp. Yes, I will give definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's kind request to all the participants to fill the feedback form properly. If you want your name on certificate, correct means, because some participants are sending wrong names, and because of that there are some corrections again. So we request all the participants who have not joined. Yeah. And certificates will be sent from tomorrow, because there is huge response. So we will take some time to prepare all these certificates. And these certificates are autogenerated. If you are writing your names wrongly, then that spelling mistakes will be there. So it's humble request to all of you to write proper names on the feedback form. And those participants who have not joined in our WhatsApp group 1, 2, 3, they only join group number 4 and 5 in feedback form. There is no need to join other participants who have already registered in 1, 2, 3 WhatsApp groups. So at this note, I will end this session. And once again, I'm very much thankful from all our organizing team to all the participants for doing registration to this workshop. Thank you once again, and bye all of you. Thank you.